played 4 extra games than
It is finally here. Day number 4 of the European PMCO Spring Split 2020 is finally upon us. My name is Maxman once again with Imperium for another day of insane and epic European PUBG Mobile action. Imperium, how's it going?
going pretty damn good. Going pretty damn good indeed. Of course, we have 2 new sets of groups going up in today's games. It's going to be Group B and Group D. So lots of changes are going to be happening up on the leaderboard. We're going to see hopefully some surprising moves up, maybe some unfortunate surprises down the field as we get through these games, but it's really going to be an interesting one.
A very interesting day and a very important day for most of your team. We were just talking about standings Imperium, so maybe we're just going to be overlooking it. Let's check out the top dogs of this European PMCO so far. If you did not see, real quick piece of info, if you did not see yesterday's broadcast, I would definitely recommend you to check out day 3 of European PMCO. Yesterday, Imperium was absolutely mental. We had a chicken dinner for Real Deal, Terror Esports, Top Killers, Team Legend. And even though Team Legend on the last game, they actually got the chicken dinner, they didn't get the most points, right?
No, they didn't. It was the very first game where the chicken dinner winning team got less points than than the team that actually got. Okay, I said a bit confusing, but yeah, Terra got 31 points for second place with 17 kills and those 14 placement points. And Team Legend did an amazing job of getting that chicken dinner, and then got 27 points for them. It was much needed win for them, and with that 31 points, so acts like that put Terror right on top of the leaderboard on 137 points, followed by Magic in second place with 115 and Red Reserve in third with 102. But those 3 teams, they've all played 4 extra games than fourth place, which is next. So like I said, we're gonna see these changes coming up on the top of the leaderboard as well as the bottom.
Yeah, because let's not forget that next they were in first position at the very start, so they're going to try and potentially take it home for themselves. As today, it will indeed be another self-group, so it will be Group B versus Group D. The teams that you are seeing up here that are very good position now, still going to try and just get a few extra positioning and kill points for themselves. It's going to be, of course, Team Next. They're going to try and just keep on ramping up, potentially try and take that first position once again. But I am really hyped up to see, once again, Hate Gaming, the only team in their respective group, which is Group D, to have actually had a chicken dinner. But not one chicken dinner, 2 chicken dinners. They have the monopole section of chicken dinners of their group, and they seem really prepared today. They're going to be having also their very first game. Well, not only them, but also the entirety of these teams and players having their very first game on the Kendi. So very interested to see how that might impact their overall standings.
Exactly, 100%. I'm really excited to see, because even outside of the 2 chicken dinners, they also got 11, 12 points consecutively. So that consistency on strong performances as well as chicken dinners has really helped pave the way for Hate Gaming coming into the next set of games for them. But I do want to bring it over to the bottom half of the table. Now, this isn't hugely surprising, but 11 of the bottom 16 teams are playing in today's set of games. That's nothing surprising, right? So that's going to see a huge change in the overall standings. And also there's going to be a monumental fight for these teams to get above each other. You look at Elevate. Elevate are down all the way in 26. Nobody expected that coming into this PMCO. Only 23 points. They're going to have to really pull out all the stops in these 4 games to chunk out and get up into the top of the standings.
It's very interesting, like compared to the scrims and the actual PMCO games, like teams are like were not like underperforming, they weren't doing extremely like well. They just showed up like next were in the scrims that we didn't know what they were doing, and they were just absolutely exploded to kill count and everything in their very first games. And you have teams like, unfortunately, Elevate. They got 4 chicken dinners in a row in scrims, but like when it comes up to their PMCO games so far, it's been unfortunately a lot of losses in Pyramid. Even just the stats are really surprising. So Elevate, the dust has yet to settle. This is going to be their second game session today, so they're only 1 quarter way through. Hopefully they can just try and ramp it up once again. But it's definitely that they can't afford another same day as they did 2 days ago.
No, 100%. Like the only thing I can say about Elevate is that their scores were consistent. They were just consistently bad. You know, like 7-6, 5-5. I don't mean that out of any huge shade to them at all. Hell, I'm wearing an Elevate jersey tonight, along with my Skillet jersey. I'm wearing both of them just for transparency, because both of these teams are competing. But it speaks for itself. Their results, they need to improve. I'm sure they will. They have a hugely influential IGL and KLAS, and yeah, I'm expecting big things.
Yeah, they do seem pretty hyped for today. They know their mistakes, and also they're a team that's put a lot of time, work, and effort in their craft that is playing PUBG Mobile competitively. So I'm sure they checked it out, they've seen the VODs, they knew where their mistakes were, they pinpointed them, and they're going to try and fix them as hard as they possibly can as we do go into today's games in Pyramid. Because as I said, today we're going to be having Vikendi. They already won some games on Vikendi during scrims, and they seem pretty comfortable on it, but they're not the only team. Like, Hate Gaming seemed pretty comfortable on it. Even though MZ said they wasn't really sure, but Jaja from Hate Gaming, they said they're pretty comfortable. They already got 2 chicken dinners, and they're in the same matchup versus Elevate. So, of course, it's going to be very interesting. There's definitely going to be a lot of competition on that specific map, but now talking about other teams, I'm looking out for Team Dope. They're a team that, has been a little bit all over the board. They've been up, they've been down, they've been everywhere in terms of standings and kill points. But they only got a chicken dinner on Sandhawk, and Sandhawk has been taken away off the board today, so we'll have to see if that might impact them later on down the line.
Yeah, but they have been a little bit all over the place, but with all due respect to Team Dope, like, they got that chicken dinner Sandhawk of 26 points. They got 11-point game, a 13-point game, and then just a 1-point game on the first game today. So,
then 14.
With all due respect, they've really been consistent overall in their point standing outside of that 1-point game at the start of the PMCO. They bounced back with the chicken dinner, and that was always going to be important. Then they followed it up with 2 good results. But when you're talking about Vikendi as well, just to touch upon that, I'm also going to be looking out for the likes of UDR Killers and OVN Esports.
Especially
Both
OVN.
those 2 teams have performed relatively well and successfully in Vikendi's, and especially when you look at UDR Killers, they're 16th place. Nothing hugely, bad, nothing hugely impressive. It's middle of the field. OVN are pretty similar on 43 points in 19th place. So these 2 teams, I'm expecting them to make the most of Vikendi.
Yeah, especially I'm waiting a really good performance from OVN. I said it last time when they played on Sandhawk, and they got, second or third position, I'm not too sure on that one, but they definitely got really good standing position on that Sandhawk game. And Vikendi is another one where they're pretty comfortable. They took 1 or 2 chicken dinners during scrims, and they're a map where they rotate really efficiently. They're very reactive, still very passive, which is the playstyle you're trying to adopt as much as possible until the later games of the stage. Hell, if you haven't seen it, go check out the Vikendi game of yesterday. That's a prime example of how you play Vikendi. Super passive early to mid game, and then late game it just snaps in just a snap of a finger. You lose like half of your teams. So I think that's a playstyle that really does help OVN in their passive early to mid game stage, and might have a chance of taking their very first chicken dinner today on day 4.
Yeah, exactly. And this is nothing hugely important because they all face up against each other. But, I know when the teams talked about what groups they were in, it's kind of like, well, who's the harder group? Who's the kind of easier group? Let's be honest, they're all pretty similar. Yeah, okay, the teams that have played 8 games, you have Group C are on 505 points total in their teams, and Group A are on 499. And then when you compare Groups B and D who are playing tonight, Group B are on 319 points total, and Group D are on 314. So realistically, there is no huge difference in kind of which team or which group is, let's say, standing out above the others. They're all pretty even Stevens balanced out.
Pretty even Stevens balanced out, but like you were talking about this earlier, I don't know if you referenced it already so far, but you said like before the broadcast that like there were 11 teams of the bottom 16 that actually are playing today. You mentioned it already. So this is going to be like a really big race to like aim for the top position. So as you said, they haven't played a lot less games. So of course, it's not like if they're they're super far behind. No, they just got less games than like the teams that are in the top 16. But now is going to be really a point where the dust is going to be slowly settling up. Like teams like Elevate, they need to have good performances today. There's no room for more mistakes. They have no time to relax. So they need to put their best performance they've done so far because they are pretty damn far behind so far. They are sitting in 26th position. Elevate is the team that I think everyone's going to be looking out for in these games today. And maybe a few teams, what you can do is also if you know where they're going to drop, they're pretty predictable. They like to go for Milta. And if you want to try and potentially get rid of your competition, maybe hot dropping on them is a strat. After it is a little bit of a weird strat, but no, we've seen some weirder stuff during our PMCO casting, right?
Yeah, of course. As much as in competitive gameplay, there's this little bit of an unwritten rule or law that look, if you have your drop stop, you have your drop stop. You tend not to crush somebody else. But at the end of the day, it's not set in stone. Anybody can drop wherever they want to. You have to be prepared to expect the unexpected. And that is something that could happen. A team that I do want to talk about though, and I don't like Team Attila. They're lying in the very bottom of the barrel in 31st place on 16 points in total. I would love to see a real nice kind of redemption story from them in these 4 games, getting some strong results. Doesn't have to be a chicken dinner, but that consistency in 10, 12, 13, 14 points would really set them a lot higher up in the standing, and I'd love to see that coming out from them.
I think that, this might be a little bit weird to say like this, but actually Team Attila, I was actually happy with how they ended their first day. I'm going to explain why, because at the very start of their first day, on their 2 first games specifically, they rotated just extremely late, and every time that messed them up, they were in one of the last spots every single time in those 2 first games. It was also the case for the 2 games after that, but they fixed their mistakes they had in the 2 first games. They shifted so fast, and they started having really valuable positions. After holding the position is something completely different, but I think that the fact that they're able to pinpoint mistakes and fix them so quickly is a valuable skill for these teams and these players. Of course, can you do that fast enough to be able to slowly climb back up? It is going to be really hard because once again, as you just mentioned, 31st position, only 16 points in 4 games. That is not looking great, but if they keep on fixing and improving on themselves, they could try and make a comeback. If they do the same point system as like Hate Gaming, Magic, Next, they can get back in top 24.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. Another team I want to point out is MVP Gaming. I actually played with Militia from MVP there last night. Had a few games with him, talked to him, and he knows what the team's mistakes were. He knows where they went wrong on certain games. They're currently lying in 22nd with 28 points, and he is feeling pretty confident, along with the rest of his team, that they will make strides in these 4 games tonight, and they will be able to heavily improve on what was a bit of a lackluster day for them in their first set of games.
Because MVP Gaming, they are in what position already? Did you say they are in
22nd?
22nd. In 22nd, they are in they're actually in the pack of there are 3 teams with exactly 28 points. That's going to be MVP Gaming, Laco Nostra, and back-to-back. So I'll have to see. Maybe they'll just keep climbing up. It would be fun if they keep with the same amount of points every single time. But guys, I know we've been talking for a very long time. We are slowly getting loaded up. The lobby is looking pretty stacked. I think that normally no players will be missing. We'll have to check that one out. Because, so for example, yesterday Team Legend spawned in with 3 members. They were able to get a chicken dinner, so it's not that big of a loss. But we'll be jumping in game very, very soon, as this first game will be indeed on good old Erangel. And actually, I'm going to go over the schedule if you guys are new to the broadcast. You haven't seen what happened. What is PMCO? What is Europe? Well, I mean, you know what's Europe. But here it is. Erangel going to be our first game. Then Vikendi, Miramar, and Erangel. No Sandhawk for yesterday and today. But it's a very aggressive map, and I think people... Overall, I think the majority just prefer Erangel, Vikendi, and Miramar. So I think that makes people happy. And it's my favorite map, and yours too, Imperium. So all fancy fun there.
Yeah, and it's also going to be the last day that we're going to see Miramar being played in the group stage as well, because the next 2 days it's going to be Sandhawk and Vikendi.
You just have to make me say, you just have to take that away from me. I love Miramar too. But it's I mean, one team that's going to be very happy. One team's going to be very happy. That is Next, because I talked to them just before the broadcast, and they said that the map that the least comfortable on is actually Miramar. They absolutely hate it. They have just a hard time. They say it's because also mostly the circle shifts really mess you up mostly on Miramar, because if you have to rotate from like one valley to another and you're just in the open area, it's like Vikendi, but like 10 times worse in that sense, and they just have a hard time doing that. So I think that Hate Gaming, they're going to be pretty happy on day 5 and day 6, and they've been already doing good so far, so imagine how it's going to go for them when they don't have their worst map to play with.
Exactly, that's something that we are going to be finding out real soon. Of course, Erangel is the first game of the day. It's a good old-fashioned Erangel. It's what these teams know and know the most. We know roughly where these teams are generally going to spawn up, depending on the playing trajectory. You're going to have Elevate dropping around the Milt area. We haven't really also talked about Cream Esports and what Cream kind of, you know, maybe need to do. Yeah, of course, they're by no means, you know, looking bad, but in 8th place, they've had one chicken dinner, 75 points. They are kind of, you know, they're kind of at the bottom of the teams that are in the top 8 that are playing today. So that's something that they, I'm sure, will be thinking of, and that they will want to kind of climb ahead of the likes of Hate Gaming next, and of course other teams that are up above that already played yesterday.
I think that the good thing about Creamer is that they're a team that doesn't need chicken dinners to have good points, right? I think, like during the first day, when they didn't have any chicken dinners at that point in time, they were actually the team that was still in top 4 with no chicken dinners. And that because it's just consistency. You don't need chicken dinners all the time to be able to get yourself in the top positions and to qualify for, you know, big LAN events and everything like that. So I think that Cream Esports is like a really big and a really good team to use as a definition of being consistent, and chicken dinners, even though they're all nice and fancy, you don't always need them to get yourself in a good standings overall. But anyways, with that said, we'll be slowly moving into our very first game of the day, Imperium. This is going to be, of course, day 4 of European Spring Split PMCO 2020. Going to be good old Erangel. Was only one team going to be taking this very first game up their sleeve.
Oh yeah. Let us know in chat what team you are going to be supporting, what team you are looking out for, who you want to see get the first chicken dinner of the day. Let it be known. Have a conversation. You know, I always love to see on stream the chat being active and that support going out there. And I know that the players always love that, because that can really be huge fuel on the fire for some of these players. They hold a lot of pride in themselves, but they also hold a lot of pride in the fans that support them, the people that support them around them. And for them to see it in chat, especially if they're doing not the greatest, that can really help lift them up in between these games.
Yeah, that's why Elevate and Goskiller, they both got like the Imperium buff today. You got their jersey, so they're going to feel a little bit of some Irish power in themselves, and they're just going to destroy their teams. We'll have to see if your buff is worthy or not of these squads.
Well, or it could just make them potato.
Debuffs them.
Because I am a potato. It could nerf them, to be honest. Time will tell. And also a huge shout out to Reese from Cream Esports. He is Irish. Absolute legend. So great to see the Irish being represented in the EU PMCO. But this is it. The first game of the day. The plane trajectory looking all spicy. Let's see where it is going to be going and where these teams will have to be landing.
Over Stolber, and here it is, our very first plane of the day, ladies and gentlemen. And a pretty nice one. Not unfortunately for the likes of Elevate. They got a little bit of a distance to go for. Teams like to get military base, might be a little bit far out of their drop-in range. Zaki, I mean, Rexpect aren't here, so they should be happy, and they even had Promos, but they're still not in this lobby today, Imperium. But this is still a really good plane to start off with, but I'm just, Imperium, I'm praying, and I'm just crossing my fingers so hard. Please, can we have an Eastern Phase 1 circle? I'm asking PUBG Mobile gods, please. I got followed by PUBG Mobile yesterday on Twitter, okay? I must have the PUBG Mobile Twitter, like, buff that allows me to decide where Phase 1 goes. Please go on the East. Make me happy. I want some Eastern action. We have too many West circles.
Yeah, no, I do totally agree. OVN landing up in Severny, it's where they like to go. A passive team looking to play in a passive style for this first game of the day. Who's going to be going to George Paul? Normally, of course, we see Terror going there as well, but as we know, they are not playing in these set of games. Cream heading for the farm location. That should be pretty easy for them. They always like to land and split up around there. Hate Gaming will look to land by the outside of Ferry Pier and then make their way into military base. Unfortunately, your prayers have not been answered, Max. We are not going to the east side.
Oh, that's like the most Western circle you could have. Why are you doing this to me, PUBG Mobile? Oh well, I guess we'll have to do it. I mean, we got another Wrangle game to end the stream, so hopefully that one will be happening. But MVP Gaming and AK-47, they're going to be dropping over here in Southern George Pole. And MVP Gaming, they're not a team that usually drops over here an insane amount. Normally it's going to be like focused mainly by like, you know, Terra Esports. You also got AK-47 they like to drop there. But MVP,
Yeah,
they don't have all that experience. They do drop their event like every once in a while, but like not as consistency as these two teams. So it'll be interesting to see their take on Southern George Pole Imperium.
it is definitely. Now, looking over as well, we have the likes of B2B Limitless that have landed in Pubg on their own. AK-47 is by MVP on the South Georgia area, so that's going to be very, very interesting to see who is going to come out on top. AK-47 currently lying overall in 28th place with 22 points. And one thing that I didn't mention is the fact that there's only 8 points dividing 22nd and 31st. That's nothing. That is half a chicken dinner.
That's just one good game. Yeah.
It's one good game, pretty much.
Yeah, so really it is still in the air as to what teams will be able to make it through to the semi-finals. We still have 2 more days after today to know which one that might be. So this is why it is the most important. It's important than ever to support your team in the chat and tell them that you support them, that you love them, as we're going to be slowly panning between all the teams, see where they're currently located. Next, you know, the team that has made us the most surprise on the very first day. They just completely destroyed the competition, getting over 80 points at one section on just one day. And next, definitely one of the biggest surprises in this tournament. They're going to go for Gatka. It's a very passive kind of location, and also with that Western Circle shift. Unfortunately, the Western Circle shift, they don't have to move, so they shouldn't get involved in any fights at this time, at this point in time.
And I think that's why the circles haven't gone on east, because I noticed that, and a lot of people, when I was talking to guys from MVP, like next, they seem to be so good at rotating, but also getting the circles nearly always in their favor. So when they land in Gatka, hey, look, maybe they're just magnetizing the circle to be in that area of the map. So feel free to blame next for the lack of east circle shifts. In these games, it is working out for them. Elevate now, of course, going to their usual spot by Vineeythepooh and around there, although B2B Limitless are a little bit close by.
It's a little bit surprising. Normally never do that, start going down to Vineeythepooh. We'll have to see. But I think it's more Elevate that hates it, because they always go for Vineeythepooh like, oh, another Western circle shift. Oh, we got to drive again through the coastal line to make it through. Cream, though, they're going to be in that section towards farm, so Elevate, if they try and rotate early, which they normally don't do straight away, at least in the early game stage, might pose a little bit of a threat, but Cream and Elevate, they seamlessly rotate at the same time, so hopefully enough, these two teams will not be coming out together. Hate Gaming, they always love going for their good old fancy compound over here of military base. They're not going to get denied this time around. Normally in scrims, there's always 2 or 3 teams in this area, but now because it's actual PMCO games, it's a lot more passive, and they try and spread out as much as possible. And which is nice, especially we saw that on yesterday's Vikendi game, right, Imperium. Like, there was so many teams that was just spreading out, because after the very first day, all the teams did their VOD review, and they know where they're dropping, so now they're just avoiding fights as much as they can.
Exactly, and having a nice spread of teams around this map, to me, I always prefer it, so that they can just find the space. They're not fighting early game unless they come across on a rotation. It just adds to a higher level of competitive gaming later on, in my eyes. Now, when you're looking at the circle being on the west, it is going to be a little bit tougher for the likes of Elevating and Cream to kind of rotate into a nice spot. It's going to be much easier for the likes of Hate and OVN, as well as Team Push, who are on the north and south side of the map respectively. But the teams are kind of on the central east side, B2B Limitless as well. It's going to be a little bit tougher for them to navigate away from the teams that are inside the circle.
Go over to Team Dope. They got himself 1 chicken so far on Sunhawk. They got one of favorite compounds, actually maybe even my favorite compound on Erangel. The reason why, really good map visibility. You've got roads right around you, so super easy to defend against a breach. And also you got a lot of rotation potential. You can go downhill, you can go up north if you want. So I think Team Dope are definitely setting themselves up really well for like defensive positioning and also rotation positioning. So Team Dope, I think that's like the best compound you could potentially pick on this phase 1 circle.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why I'm a little bit surprised that as of right now, Next aren't going for a 2-2 split across the central area of Baigaka, because I feel like that would, considering how strong they are as a team, that they'd be able to handle that. Okay, that's going to be a 2.75 out of 10 for me. I feel like there's no way that he should have flipped over, should have controlled that two-side wheeler in my eyes. Max, I don't know what you thought.
I was legit going to say that was a 2.5, so, and you said 2.75, so you know what? I think we're being really good judges here. I think we improved Imperium on our
Exactly.
card trick skills. So unfortunately, Elevate. We knew they were potentially going to crash a little bit with Cream, even though it's not really a crash, it's just passing by. But Cream, they're not going to get anything, and they're way too split to take this fight on a steady foot. So Elevate, they're just going to keep on cruising. Class is going to be the member in front of everyone, trying to open the pathway to the circle. Hopefully, I would really like if Cream and Elevate don't get an unfortunate fight, because those are two teams that late game, they just shine, especially Elevate.
Yeah, exactly. I do like the fact that Elevate are rotating earlier in this game compared to what we've seen them do previously, but I'm not going to lie, I'm not exactly happy with how they rotated. Yeah, okay, they're not being caught out because a lot of teams around them are rotating, and there's no team that are exactly like all bunched together as they're going past, but I still would like to have seen them rotating a little bit safer to either north and south side of the circle. But now we're seeing, as this phase one is closing in, the teams are starting to move in to the circle.
I'm actually surprised that Hey Gaming rotated like late in quotation marks. So it's not actually late, but it's a late rotation for leaving the military island, because you don't want to get hit by a bridge camp on the Western Bridge, and they actually went for that a little bit later than I thought, because if a team has already set up camp there and it's a Western Circle shift, you might get in a little bit of trouble, and you might have to go for like the boats or just swimming it out. But luckily enough, there were no teams really in that location, so they should be able to take it up for themselves. As Team Attila, a team that I said, right, they fixed it, and now they rotate a lot more earlier, they got compound under control. This is what I'm expecting from them, and they did it spot on.
It's still on the passive side, but I would agree. It's a lot cleaner. It's a lot better coming out for them in the early parts again. We're still less than 10 minutes in. We are going to see phase two. It is going to shift up north. Who's going to go onto Everest? Who's going to occupy the compounds that are very, very important down the south of Everest? Like we saw in yesterday's second Erangel game, Terra Esports, who got those 17 kills, they stayed as a full team on the compound just down south of Everest, and it worked out very well for them. I'm expecting a team to go there, in this case, most likely next.
That was when like Broccoli of Terra got like 9 kills. That was absolutely insane. Love that guy. Yeah, at least what I'm happy about, I wanted a little bit of diversity in these circles. At least they went up north. We're not going to have another, like, very peer kind of location end circle. So at least I'm happy it goes a little bit up north. Might be lucky and I actually have a George Paul finish. But here it is, Lako Nostra trying to be as reactive as they possibly can be. Cream, Vita going to be pretty close by, but they are out from each other. As Goskiller, team that you have the jersey Imperium, and I'm really jealous about. Going to be just around the corner a bit. They are actually getting it raining down on Team Push. As Bessan Hoppat straight up in the open, and chances of a res seem pretty hard for them to get here.
It's going to be very hard for Team Push to get any kind of res. Never mind the second player of Team Push. That's Magic, is nowhere near Bobby. So 2 players of Team Push up. Bobby, the IGL, is going to get into the buggy. As it now Goskilla push forward. Nice aggressiveness coming out from Goskilla. They're going to try and drive by as Elod does knock down Bobby's. That's going to be 3 knockdowns in the favor of Goskilla.
This is very, very nice, smart, and aggressive play coming out from Goskilla. I absolutely love it. Like, they didn't let them time to res. I think that's a mistake we've been seeing repetitively quite a lot during our games. It's just teams allowing reses and then engaging after the res comes on through. They just didn't allow it, and they just forced on through, knew it was a 4v2, and they took it easy peasy lemon squeezy. So Goskilla, spot on, very by the book kind of gameplay, but that's why you call it by the book, because that is what you do, and it works.
Tell you what isn't working. So rotation coming out from Elevate. They've lost Kailas. Will is knocked down. There's a lot of dangerous players and teams around him. You've got Cream inside the dip. You've got Laka Nostra looking in the direction of the members of Elevate and Laka Nostra. So good stuff from both these two teams. Unfortunately, bad for Elevate.
Yeah, Elevate, we said it. You can't have another bad day. Don't want 2/3 of your games going down the drain, so gotta try and the ASAP. So a little bit of a hard first early game. Will, unfortunately, in the open. Two of his other members, they just way too out of his circumference. So should be down at pretty soon. We'll have to see who will take that 1 point. But Cream in the deep, I always say that position is pretty risky. It's pretty nice to defend with because it's pretty hard to push on because it's in the open. Like, just one nade just falls down. We saw it so many times. Just one nade, and it could go the complete opposite direction.
It can go horribly wrong for a team that are inside that dip. I would nearly always recommend that you have 2 inside the dip and 2 kind of outside the dip. I know there's no real compound nearby, but I'd still always recommend a bit of a split team between that area and a compound. But either way, Cream are going to hold on to it. We are going to see phase 3 popping up in the next couple of seconds. Is it going to stay down south? Is it going to shift up north? Depending on where it's going to go. You're calling north? Hell yeah, you were damn right, Max. That's going to favor Ghostskilla and going to put a lot of pressure on the teams down south as B2B Limitless knocks down KZS of Throne.
KZS, yeah, unfortunately, was no one around him. This is why you try and, split up a little bit during your rotations, potentially send out a scout, because if you lose one, at least it's only one. Don't lose the entire squad. Throne, they're going to be on the mountaintop, see if they can try and cancel out or at least get some intel on future rotations. It's a pretty hard location to hold on to because it could get breached from so many locations. We did see that yesterday on our, I think it was our second game of Orango Imperium, where it did actually end up happening a little bit towards Everest. But we'll see if that will come into play a little bit. Moving esports, we have the River and Playwright with the little island. If they can take the Harry Potter Tower / the compound next to the bridge, they can be the bridge campers of this game, and that would be the best location because it's a 50-50 split because of that river, and having a river compound at this stage would be just muy buenísimo.
It just makes it a lot easier, and you're kind of setting yourself for a nice easy rotation if a hard shifts away from you. So yeah, that would be definitely a good spot. I wonder if any teams are going to go up towards Everest direction. If it's more than one team, it's going to get really dangerous. I would definitely also not recommend any team go inside ruins. Where Cream are on the outskirts of ruins, that's higher ground. I'll accept that. But inside ruins is just like, just don't go near there. It makes it so much harder to disengage away from it. You can go around and go to the north side of the circle if it stays up north, but I just wouldn't recommend it, Max.
I mean, once you're in ruin, it's okay to be in it, but rotating away from it, I think is the hardest part, right? Especially when the circle is actually closed up. That there are a few compounds around, so direct line of sight. You talked about Everest potentially being pretty hard. MVP Gaming are there. UDR Killers, they are also there. And B2B Limitless, they are trying to keep it up for themselves. Gonna try and take the fight. They got a little bit of a higher ground position. Nades getting thrown left, right, and center. Not quite able to connect, unfortunately. But UDR Killers really not giving up on this position. But the 2-2 split, I actually like it.
Yeah, UDR Killers, they could now look to be disengaging. Will work out for UDR Killers if they can get away.
Andrew.
But Nano is driving away. B2B Limitless are spread out a little bit more heavily. They're on the higher ground for now. Sandro is a little bit stuck in his own, not full health. Could get really pressured if he goes out of position.
I could have cooked that nade a little bit, but he's going to try and go for the Kobe. Oh, that's actually looking pretty good. Imperium. Oh, puts him down to mid HP. You know what? I actually love that lob. Yeah, loved grenade, but will not do the work. But I'm surprised they went back to a 3-1 split instead of a 2-2. I think it's a lot more valuable to have that 2-2, but it does at least show an intention of playing it passive and not willing to take the fight head on. In my personal opinion, there's another card that's going to be taken by Sandro. He's definitely going to try and get back to his team, but that is actually 3 teams here on the southern side in ruins, and he said it is not a great place to take fights on, and these 3 teams might find himself in a little bit of a pickle.
It's going to be a bit of a pickle. Team Dope going to get knocked down. Tudor being connected on by Lackanoster. Grenades are being flying out in all directions. I love the fact that Elevate are just kind of ignoring it, right? They're not looking to get involved, allowing these 2 teams to kind of take each other out. We could see a third party in the next 30 seconds or so, but let's not forget that the face is shifted away from these teams, so they're going to have to engage hard, quickly, if they want to find any kind of relatively good position inside the next circle.
Hopefully, this will not go too bad for Lackanoster. They don't get backstabbed by Team Dope. They're going to be hearing that car, and I think Team Dope okay, they're rotating with the car. We can also rotate with the car because let's just avoid the fight. And it's just an unofficial alliance between these 2 teams. Okay, we're going to give up on this. This is not helping out any of our squads. Find a better position, and let's just push up this fight to a later date. Team Attila, pretty split. Unfortunately, Illa just trying to go for another compound, but that compound is already occupied by the boys of Throne.
Illa just knocked down. Will he be able to be the bait for the other members of ATL to take down Throne? They're on the west side of the circle. There's also AK-47 pinching the remaining members of Attila. That could come into play, Max, as they all vie for a position inside the circle.
Mad Max kind of moves right here, trying to get the shots on Team Attila. Can they get it? The car is fuming. They're going to have to jump out, and the Squire is gone. Team Attila really struggling in this later stage. AK-47 going to try and be really proactive. His 4-car man car shift can get a little bit tricky. Hopefully no teams will catch them out. Team Dope also getting himself in a bad spot, but Team Attila, the two remaining members, well, the only remaining member now is going to be Kel, and Ilodge is still knocked, but Kel going to have to do a solo move, and I don't think it's going to go well for them. Hate Gaming, ooh, split.
Yeah, Neymar is looking very risky. The remaining members of Hate gonna have to do what they can. They're being punished by Ghost Skillet, who stayed up north, and the circle has favored them as they're just on this high ground. It's a risky position to be in. This is because it's at an angle where you can get punished by some teams around you. It's just it's a very dangerous position. You really need to know where the enemies are around them, as MVP, Team Dope, and UDR Killers are fighting up against each other.
Team party from MVP. I'm liking it. You can have the intention, like the impression that they did set up this kind of positioning because they knew some teams were going to just tumble down from Everest. And I do like the fact that they tried to early call that. Now they're just going to try and prey upon these kills, try and secure as many points as they can. But unfortunately, they're going to have to try and heal up from their wounds first. They can't take this fight head on just yet. And despite the kill feed popping off, MVP Gaming, they didn't really come the team to play aggressively, so they didn't get any knockdowns. So they're not sure if these are the two teams that lost a few members. A great spray coming out from Senzo. Oh,
nice. Very nice from Senzo onto the members of Team Dope. Good, confident play from MVP, peaking at the right time in the right direction.
Oh, but Blind's got the perfect positioning here. Another spray for prey coming on through, but unfortunately Blind gonna get sniped away by UDR Killers. They are not giving up, and they're just trying to deny rotation further up north for these squads. And now they're kind of controlling. They are the game master of this circle shift. Now Team Dope, unfortunately, down to very few members. They're going to try their very best to hold the position, but it's shifting once again up north, and 40 seconds. This fight is going to have to end, and a few teams will potentially die in the process.
Yeah, and Team Dope have been taken out, so it's just MVP and the UDR Killers that are on that south side by Everest, and the circle has shifted up north, Max. That means the river is actually really splitting these teams up. It's taken away the landmass. We still have 43 players up in phase 5 on the 20-minute mark. This is all gonna hit. It's all gonna crash together in the next 3 to 5 minutes.
Hate Gaming and Goskula were actually popping off. We saw the kill feed light up for a few seconds. We'll have to see how that fight does end up. Hopefully we don't lose any of those two teams. That'll be very unfortunate. Navi, is he the last member standing? I think he is. Goskula still looking strong. They got a nice high ground position, the lip of the hill to protect themselves with. But MVP Gaming now, with their heels up to the wall, they're going to have to try and force forward. Nice fight back. None are going to get headshot by Senzo. But now they got their car still. They can try and use it and split up. Autobots roll out.
Autobots roll out. Let's see if we see some Michael Bay action in the final moments as the teams rotate. Cars exploding, people dying, dreams shattered as Cream and MVP are going to get very close to each other. Senzo knocked down, leaving Danny and the rest of the MVP having to crawl back and try and find a space.
We're about to see an MVP sandwich right now. UDR Killers, they got the heal back up, and they are slowly pushing forward, trying to find themselves a few frags if they can during that shift up north. Throne next, also fighting up. Throne losing a lot of their members there. We'll have to see if they can make it out alive. So much action around the board in Pure Minus Phase 5 because so many teams are still up there. We lost another squad. I'm not even sure which one it was. This is how many fights are happening at this time.
Yeah, it's just absolutely mental. Lackanoster onto Cream. Cream onto MVP. Lackanoster onto MVP. Hell, we've even seen OVN knock down Militia of MVP. Teams are just crashing into each other. Bodies are flying all around the place. And slowly but surely, we are seeing teams dropping down. Now 11, 30 players up. AK-47 doing a good job to stay in this. I also want to point out that the 2-man remaining team of Elevate are still inside it in the center of the circle,
Potter,
just staying safe in the Harry Potter Tower.
Yeah, and so far just letting the other teams, like, they're just taking their hands up, like, okay, I'm not touching my phone anymore, just let the other teams fight, and we'll come back in phase number 8. Here it is, another fight, MVP Gaming, they get UDR Killers, they get almost eliminated, but they still got Ulysses on the back. And his very, very best to hold his ground, but now he's got to shift potentially a little bit more over to the west to avoid direct confrontation. There are 2 teams there, but a circle shift, once again, this is definitely helping out the team of Elevate, and this is just a gift from the heavens.
Oh my god, and go Skilla, who are gonna have to go across the bridge or through the water in the river from the north side. Will they be punished as Lurwan, knocking down Peko of Cream?
Does get a little bit of tick done with the molly. Unfortunately, doesn't get any flushes. Peko, unfortunately, got knocked, but normally Reeves will be able to make it back on top. He said, your Irish bro, he's going to be the saver of his soul. AK-47, they're going to be the bridge trolls of this game. They'll be trying to hold their position as long as they can. Still got Member of Throne just chilling in the water, trying to snake his way through or swim his way through to victory if he has a chance to do so. But Imperium, 5 more seconds and mayhem is going to be upon us. And only a few teams will be able to make it close to this Harry Potter tower.
Oh man, now we're down to 8 teams. Go Skilla and AK-47. Go Skilla gonna look to go for that rotation. It's exactly what they need to do, but the spray from Borean really putting the hurt onto that UAZ.
How did that not connect? I'm so surprised. They were looking so good. Oh, 7X from Goskilla. Gonna get knocked away. But his team is still there. The carry gonna try and join up, but they are not ready to go for the res. Making it through the bridge at this moment in time. Are you... Oh my god, this is not gonna work out for good old Goskilla. Down to now, their very last member. And he's gonna try and get his best shot as he can. Goskilla losing an extra one. He's just solo and still able to barely survive with a slither of HP. Where it is next, looking for the underbridge engagement on AK-47. But they are definitely finding a little bit of a stop in their steps.
Nice stuff from AK-47. Harb in the background. Members of Next are falling flat one by one. AK-47, they're ready to fight. The Romanian team pushing forward onto Next. Harb has to go back. His 3 teammates are knocked down. This could be the end of Next.
This could definitely be the end Imperium, as I think it was right there, actually. We lost quite a few. And this is indeed going to be next eliminated in 6th position. Down at the top 5, Cream, OVN Esports. Still, we got the members. 2 members only of Elevate, and they're going to still try and hold that position. It was only 2 members. Harry Potter Tower is so easy to defend. It's so small and it gives you so much visibility. They got one of the better positions for a 2-man squad to defend with, as it's still going to be closing up on this compound. But will it shift still in their favor on phase number 7? We'll have to check that one out. Look at Vineeythepooh.
Plus the fact that all the teams around them, players around them, are taking each other out. We see Go Skilla go out, Next go out, who are close by. AK-47 have done a fantastic job. I'd love to know how many kills they are on right now, as OVN trying to hold on to their position. Down south, they've got Cream right close by.
He's running it down. AK-47 still not quite ready there. Both teams are just hoping. So many teams on the edge. All the teams on the edge except for Elevate. And they're just praying for phase 7. Where will it take? Oh my god, are you kidding me? Elevate! How much did you pay Pubg Mobile for these circles?
I tell you, you know what? It's the Imperium buff, Maxan. It's the jersey going in their favor. They're going to hold on to the center of the circle as the 5 teams closing in. Cream and OVN, they're going to have to go downhill. AK-47 can just creep up from the side of the water, but they have got the members of, I believe it is, Throne in front of them.
But this is such a flat terrain. When it starts closing up, mayhem is going to be upon us once again. Hoping that we will indeed be having a few smokes. If they kept on their utility, this is the exact moment we want to pop up that utility. Unfortunately, Throne, Vineeythepooh in the water died out. They'll be taking their very 5th position. Not too sure how many kills, but they didn't play that aggressive this game. But it is, the car engagement is coming out. They really want to get upon that Harry Potter tower. But do they know it's only taken by 2 members? They know they have no other choice. Marley's going to be the very first one to breach it up. Let's see if Elevate can respond in according fashion.
Plus OVN are coming in with the 3rd party. Smoke's being thrown by. Marley's doing what they can. That's going to be the end of Vito being knocked out. Pocus gets knocked out by AK-47. This is 1, 2, 3, 3rd, 4th party coming out between these teams.
What is going on? The kill feed is going absolute bonkers, Imperium, but Elevate, they're still trying their best to hold on to it. Zuku is going to be left alone on the tippity top of that building. Ovian still trying their best to push, but it will not be to any amount of success as it gets shut away by the one and only Cream Peko. AK-47 also moving forward. AK-47, Elevate, and the last member of Cream is going to be Reeves. It's a 4v1v1 Imperium, and this is definitely looking like the game for AK-47.
Yeah, OVM went down, unfortunately, a second ago. As you said, 4v1v1, AK-47, the Romanian team ready to take their chicken dinner. They were 28th at the start of these games. Rees go down. They're on 19 kills. Could they make it a 20-kill game, Max? And that will be the record. That will be 40 points if they close this out. But Zuku's a hero. He's a man. He's a myth. He's a legend. Can he close out this 4v1, or actually, sorry, 3v1?
Knows exactly where they are currently located. He's still got some utility. He's going to be jumping out. He's popping out the nade. He doesn't have the time to fight back. He gets the first engage. It's a 1v2 Imperium. Where's the UZB? Misses the spray, and there you have it. AK-47 will be taking their very first chicken dinner on day number 4 of European PMCO Spring Split 2020, and they drop the 20-kill bomb. Imperium, the very first 20-kill bomb of this split.
Max, AK-47, they scored nearly double the amount of points they had in total up until this point. In one game, 20 bomb kill, 20 points for the chicken dinner, 40 in total. That's going to boost them. That's going to strap a rocket on the back of their asses and shoot them up on top of the leaderboard. But Elevate, they didn't get a kill, but the two-man team of Zuku and Pocus put them into second place. Hocus Pocus, 14 points for them.
Elevate, just these amount of kills alone are getting them actually in the position where they could potentially make it through to semifinals. They're in the Goldilocks zone now. These are the games, even though they didn't play as aggressive because they split really early on, and you said it was kind of a mistake to like split and rotate so split.
Well, it was the way they rotated.
Yeah, it's exactly the way
they rotated.
The intention of rotation was good, but like how they made it happen was unfortunately a little bit weird in my opinion. But still, Elevate, they get the point average we require per game for you to have some good stats overall. You know what? I'm not going to hate on that. Elevate, they did what they had to do, and they were keeping their hopes alive for as long as possible. But Cream, no, we talked about it. Even though they don't always get the big chicken dinners, they got one so far, but they're just consistently there getting some good points. They always get third position here with 3 kills, and they are still looking the strong team that we know them for.
Yeah, and then also, let's talk about the fact that we had, you know, Next coming in 6, Ghostskilla coming in 7th. Ghostskilla got 5, 6, 7 kills for them with 7 places, nothing to be sniffed at. Next, not getting quite so many kills, only getting 2 kills, I believe. Actually, no, sorry, 3 in 6th place. But yeah, it's not going to be a weak game for those teams, but it's not going to be, you know, hugely threatening to, let's say, jump on top of the leaderboard.
I'm just going to mention something. You always made fun of my quick math Imperium. You just said Ghostskilla had 7 kills when they actually had 6. So, see how the turntables... I'm the quick math god right now.
Well, why you gonna
I'm
like
pulling
it?
you in the dirt, Imperium, and there's nothing can do about it.
Fine. It's fine.
Nah, it's fine. He's just always made fun of my math because I'm very slow brainer. But yeah, that was a great game. And you know what? Even though it did go over to the west, it went up north. I can't hate on that. It was a very fun late game finish and a very entertaining first game on Erangel. And don't forget, this is the very first Erangel game and the very first game of today's broadcast. We still got Vikendi, Miramar, and another Erangel game to come your way. This is just the start, and this definitely did put a smile on my face.
It did. One team that definitely fell short was Hate as well. Hate Gaming only finishing in 12th place with 0 kills as well. Really not a good result for them. Team Attila, I know we talked about how they've improved, but they still only got 11th place. Sorry, Hate got 1 kill, my apologies. Attila finished in 11th place with 0 kills. Not what they would have wanted as well.
Yeah, Team Attila, the intention once again was good. It's just they have such a hard time in fights. And I think that their macro is now starting to definitely improve. Their micro has got to work on like your aim, how you're going to breach it, how you're going to defend compounds. That is definitely a really big point. I would recommend them. So if you guys are watching, try and train on that as much as possible during your games. But yeah, that's our very first game. We'll have to wait and see if the standings get updated eventually. We'll try and see if they get updated really quickly. We'll check them out before the break. Otherwise, we'll check them out later. We'll definitely keep you guys updated because, as we said, 11 of the teams that are playing today are actually in the bottom 16th position. So it's going to be a race to the top, see which team can potentially try and claim back their position on this 4th day. And I definitely can't wait to see the Imperium. Next game is going to be on Vikendi. And before we go to the break, is there one team you're hoping to potentially have a nice stellar performance on game 2?
Elevate.
Elevate. Okay.
Elevate.
I think they're definitely seeing this first game. They went in a good step after, rotations are going to be very important. So I hope they're not going to split too much and try and pull it off a little bit better. But yeah, I think Elevate definitely have a really good shot. I want to hope that Hate Gaming, they're going to make a comeback. They said they like the map a lot. So I'm really intrigued to see if Hate Gaming can have their good performance. With that said, guys, thank you so much for watching this very first game. It is not over. Still got 3 more to come your way. So don't move. We'll be back very shortly for game number 2 on good old and fancy Vikendi.
तो सवर्णी चलते हैं।
कहीं पे भी जा यार, मरना तो आई है। सेवन नहीं चलता, कहीं पे भी चल। इन्हें करो कि गांड में नहीं है ना खेलने के लिए, इसलिए यूट्यूबर।
क्या है?
मैं कहीं इन्हें करो कि गांड में दम नहीं है खेल।
किसका? ओ, हाँ हाँ, हर मैच में मिलता है। इस वाले मैच में, अगले वाले मैच में भी मार दिया था, लिपोक्का पे मार दिया था मुझे। 24 KD है उसका।
क्या हंटर बॉय वाइटी, इन लोगों ने वाइटी का नाम खराब कर रखा है यार।
क्या करे?
पूरा एकदम ऐसा नाम खराब किया है कि पूछो मत। कब वो
हाँ गाजू जी, आपने गाजू लेने का।
सर्वर ने एक स्क्वाड आ
गाजू
रहा
लेन।
है, दो स्क्वाड, तीन।
नंबर 2, नंबर 1 उधर है, बंदा है, मैंने देखा 2 बंदा घर पे था।
I got supplies.
यूएमपी यार है।
I got supplies.
अब जाए उधर। अरे बाप रे, नंबर 4 ने ठोक दिया किसी को।
नंबर 4 ने ठोक दिया। अबे वो तो ऑफलाइन था। अरे
वो आ गया।
गजब भाई, जोश में आ गया वो।
साइड को ही नहीं है, एक ही स्क्वाड है शायद।
मैं भी बस आ ही रहा हूँ। यूएमपी मिल गई है, काम हो जाएगा। अच्छा स्नाइपर मिल गई। और रेड डॉट है यार, रेड डॉट इधर लगाना पड़ेगा।
नंबर 4 को बिठा दिया। भाई
अंतर
नंबर
भाई
1 नंबर 1।
इसको भी ले गया। 90 नंबर 3 भी गया अब।
भाई जल्दी से आ जाओ। नंबर 2
वो कहाँ पे और एनिमी कहाँ है?
सामने है, चर्च के उस
सामने
पार।
किधर? चर्च? ओके।
चर्च के उस पार है। एक बंदा चर्च पे आ गया।
वो रिवाइव हो गया ना?
नहीं नहीं, जिसको मारा था उसको टपका दिया पूरा।
सही किया, ऐसे ही करो बस। हाँ एक तो मुझे क्लोज है।
बॉम्ब से मर जाएंगे अब।
दो लोग नहीं मरेंगे ना? घर वर साला ठीक से रेंडर ही नहीं हो रहा है। डीपीआई चेंज, डीपीआई भी चेंज नहीं करने दे रहा। 240 से कह रहा ज़्यादा नहीं खेल ले। 480 का
गन
खेलता रहा
चाहिए।
हूँ।
शॉटगन है
इधर
अबे।
आ गया वो।
इधर। ओके ओके ओके, मार दिया।
हाँ पता नहीं बॉट था
मेरा
क्या था,
बहुत लैग
माफ
हो
किया।
रहा है। लूट रहा है फिर भी। मारने तो मारने तो।
भाई ये लोग देख क्यों नहीं रहे मुझे? या मेरी आंखें खराब हो गई?
घर पे है एक बंदा शायद।
कौन से वाले घर पे?
मालूम नहीं पर
एनिमी से हेड तो
साउंड
थोड़ा।
आ रहा है।
एनिमी से हेड
Enemies
किया करो।
ahead!
हो सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है। मुझे 5 कैमो चाहिए। एक्स्ट्रा 5 कैमो तो प्लीज कोई दान करो यार।
I got supplies!
7 पॉइंट नहीं, 5 पॉइंट।
मुझे भी 5 ही चाहिए।
33
अबे ये
एमओ
लोग
है।
सब मार के भाग गए हैं क्या? लेदर फैल गया पूरा। दिखा क्या वो?
नहीं।
मुझे ऐसा फील हो रहा है कि सिर्फ एक ही बचा है और वो
कैंपिंग कर
कैंपिंग
रहा
कर
है,
रहा होगा।
मुझे भी वही लग रहा है।
क्योंकि सबकी तो लाशें बिछी हुई है यार, कोई वो ही नहीं है।
चलो चलते हैं, जोन आ गया। पीछे गाड़ी है, गाड़ी लेके आते हैं।
फाइव की 90 गोलियां लेके घूम रहा हूँ।
मेरे पास 33 है।
सही है, लग नहीं रहा है सरवाइव कर पाएंगे।
एक टीम को मार सके तो सब कुछ मिल जाएगा। M24 किसके पास है भाई? नंबर 2 के पास?
मेरे पास
नंबर 2 हो तुम?
इस पर 98 है मेरे पास ना, वो है
M24 एक बॉट मारने देना, ठीक है? उसके बाद दे दूंगा तुम्हें। भाई रेडी जोन। अरे क्या कर, लैग हो रहा है मेरा बहुत। एनिमी सामने, एनिमी भाई। एमओ नहीं है ज्यादा, 33 एमओ है। पंगा नहीं लेंगे भाई, निकलो यहाँ से।
देख मैं दूसरी
पीछे
साइड में हूँ,
एनिमी,
समझ गया।
सामने एनिमी। अरे मत ठोको यहाँ पर, निकलो यहाँ से। सामने रुक जाओ, यहाँ पर रुक जाओ।
अच्छा तुम लोग गेम की उसमें चले गए। अच्छा है, वो लोग भी आएंगे गेम की दुकान पे।
रोजोक के ऊपर एनिमी, सब तरफ एनिमी है।
एक ही उठा लूँ क्या मैं? ये फिर कैंप और एक ही उठा लेता हूँ।
एक नॉक। गया काम से भाई साहब। पीछे भी एनिमी, कैसे निकलते हैं?
तुम लोग
नंबर 1 भी क्या?
भाई वीडियो गेम की दुकान पे सब आएंगे, जाना नहीं वहाँ। बिल्कुल गलत जगह हो
अरे
यार तुम
भाई
लोग।
भाई 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 क्या हो रहा है भाई?
Help!
भाई साहब गाड़ी आ गया। मैं मर जाऊंगा। मैं गया काम से, मैं गया। मत मार भाई, भाई भाई प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज।
कहाँ से मारा उन लोगों ने?
ओ गेम
पहाड़ के ऊपर
मेला 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 मेला।
गेम से? व्हाट द फक।
जिसको नॉक किया उसको मार दो।
अगर ये लोग लेगिट प्लेयर हुए तो मार दूंगा, अगर हैकर वैकर हुआ तो नहीं हो पाएगा।
ठीक है देखते हैं। स्मोक के राइट साइड। हाँ हाँ, येलो ड्रेस। आ रहा है। नाइस M24। पीछे भी, नीचे।
आई सी।
गए 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 गए। घर के अंदर घुस जा भाई। येलो बंदे को मार दो। क्या बढ़िया। सामने आ रहा है। बढ़िया खेला भाई। आ रहा है। घुस जा घुस जा घुस जा घुस जा। हाँ बढ़िया।
वाई आई
एमपी उठा
ड्रॉप
लिया।
दी, या गलती से उठा लिया।
Not bad.
जोन भाई साहब, जो ज्यादा बंदा नहीं और 13। निकलो निकलो
ऑन फास्ट।
निकलो।
यप, बस निकल रहा हूँ।
बहुत दूर है तुम्हारा गाड़ी।
इन्हीं लोगों ने मारा था तुम्हें?
नहीं 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 नहीं, वो लोग गेम के
किसी और थे?
उधर था। वो मेले से। यहाँ से उसके पास डीपी था।
ये सारे जो मरे हैं अभी, ये लेगिट प्लेयर थे। अगर इनमें से एक भी हैकर होता, इन्हें मेरी लोकेशन पता होती और वो इजीली मार देता मुझे।
अभी तो इस सीजन में ज्यादातर हैकर हो रहा है।
अगले सीजन में और आएंगे।
पबजी वालों कुछ कर नहीं रहा। खेलना तो छोड़ दिया था, एक कोरोना वायरस के लिए खेलना पड़ रहा है। घर से बैठे बैठे के बोर हो गए, इसलिए फिर से डाउनलोड किया।
सीरियसली यार, वो खुद ही हैक बना के बेच रहे हैं पबजी वाले, तो वो कुछ नहीं करने वाले इसमें।
वही बात। पर हम तो खरीदेंगे नहीं।
बात तो है, फ्री में मिल रहा है तो ठीक है, खरीदना नहीं है लेकिन।
नहीं।
अरे यूज कर ले बैंड के लोड़े। क्या यूज कर रहा है, माँ की आंख तेरी। 9 नंबर से बैंडेजेस यूज ही नहीं करता यार, बड़ा लंड प्लेयर है।
अभी थोड़ा ग्लिच हो रहा है।
ग्लिच हो रहा है भाई।
मैं
मैं कोई कमेंट नहीं करना चाहता यार। गेम इन्होंने माँ बहन कर दी है गेम की। अच्छा खासा जब नया नया पबजी आया था,
सीजन
थोड़ी
2
सी
से
प्रॉब्लम हुआ करती थी।
5 तक बहुत अच्छा खेलने में मजा आता था।
उसके बाद से ये हैकर और चूतियापंती शुरू हो गई फिर, तो फिर पूरे गेम के लौड़े लगा दिए।
13 सेकंड 10 सेकंड।
एक्चुअली मेरे माउस की DPI बदल गई है थोड़ी सी, तो जस्ट अ लिटिल प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है खेलने में।
माउस का DPI मेरे पास तो DPI नहीं है, ग्राफिक्स कार्ड भी नहीं है।
Same।
देखो 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 गाड़ी
अबे वो हवा में चलाते हुए जा रहे हैं लॉल।
उड़ के गया थोड़ा जोर
एनिमी
से।
नहीं मार रहे, वो हवा में चला रहे हैं।
फर्स्ट पर्सन में तो मुझे खेलना ही नहीं होता।
मुझे फर्स्ट पर्सन थोड़ा बहुत पसंद है।
मुझे आता ही नहीं फर्स्ट पर्सन में। मैं बहुत ही गंदा खेलता हूँ फर्स्ट पर्सन में।
एक्चुअली देखो ऐसे में क्या है कि अपना बंदा और सामने का TPP इजीली ले सकते हैं हम लोग कि हाँ कौन कहाँ पे है।
हाँ
ऐसे में क्या
हाँ
है
हाँ।
कि इसमें कोई TPP का ऑप्शन नहीं है, तुम्हें पूरा ऐसे सामने जाके
नहीं
देखना पड़ेगा।
हाँ।
बस वही रीज़न है। मुझे गाड़ी है यहाँ पे,
कहाँ से हुआ है तुम?
नॉर्थ ईस्ट। यहाँ पे सोलो बंदा उतरा है या स्क्वाड है? सोलो है।
भाई स्प्रे थोड़ा गड़बड़ आ गया।
रिकॉइल भाई, नो ऑप्शन। डैमेज नहीं हुआ वो?
थोड़ा बहुत हुआ शायद। गया काम से।
अब ये क्या था? भाई आधे घंटे से गोली मारी, उसको हिट हुआ थोड़ा बहुत, ऐसा भी नहीं कि नहीं हुआ हो।
पूरा
नेट देखा था, नेट का भी कुछ असर नहीं
2
हुआ।
HP था। 2 HP था इसका। सोलो
सोलो
है
वर्सेस स्क्वाड खेल रहे,
81।
चलो इसका मैच देखते हैं। बड़ा भाई प्रो है ये।
नहीं नहीं,
सोलो
इसका
वर्सेस
टू
स्क्वाड
किल।
खेल रहा,
दो
बताओ हद है।
2 किल है इसका।
इसका 5 किल है, 2 नहीं है।
5 किल है।
लास्ट का वही AWM वाला स्क्वाड बचा है पूरा, जो हवा में गोली चलाता
हाँ
हुआ घूम
5
रहा था।
किल है हाँ। इसका हाइड है, सब
मेरा
कुछ
4x
हाइड है।
ही बेटर है यार।
10 दूंगा तब होगा, ऐसे नहीं 4 है देखो। एप्पल नहीं है इसको, प्लेट बोला जाता है, इसमें 4 है। कौन है?
हेलो।
लेट बना गोलू, वापस लेट बना, लेट बना।
अम्मा
हेलो, गाड़ी लेके जॉर्ज पूल चलेंगे। गाड़ी लेके जॉर्ज पूल। क्या है? हेलो, गाड़ी ढूंढो। पंजाब।
Enemies ahead.
बंदे यार
I only on gun.
भाई एक गन तो दे दो अगर 2 गन्स हैं
Ah, yeah. Okay, okay. Give you. I give you.
जॉर्ज पूल पे भी बंदे तो नहीं आए होंगे
Yeah, bro.
नहीं जॉर्ज पूल तो बहुत दूर था
Don't push, bro. We have low
कोई
fear.
ना
We
जगह
can't go
अगर
the
बंदे
other
हुए
way.
तो वापस आ जाएंगे अगर बंदे हुए
Don't use fuel, bro. We are almost done. Okay.
जा ही नहीं सकते अब
Okay.
Enemies
Go.
ahead.
पेट्रोल
Go,
ढूंढो
go, go.
पेट्रोल ढूंढो
Okay, take it. You want gun? Wait. But wait.
यार क्या है यार गन तो लेने दो
I got supplies.
Yeah, one more. Yeah.
I got supplies. I got supplies. I got supplies.
Horizon.
Search for vehicles.
We need a fuel tank.
जॉर्ज पूल आगे होंगे बंदे कोई ना रश कर देते हैं 2 नंबर आजा बग्गी मिल गई
Number one, what happened? Where are you going? Turn on your mic. The 4 is going to the top. Number 1 is going to.
सुनो सामने एक और
Right,
बग्गी खड़ी है इधर ही ले लेना 1 नंबर और 4 नंबर जिधर से हम जा रहे हैं उधर ही है सामने
Ah, enemy is there. Enemy.
Enemies ahead.
I see one vehicle, one jeep with that. Let's go to building side of it.
अभी
Enemies
तक तो एक भी
ahead.
गाड़ी नहीं है वहाँ पे एक भी गाड़ी नहीं है
go to building site first, then look. I think two squad is there.
हाँ एक गाड़ी है भागे भागे
Oh, stop.
भागते हैं
Oh, good.
ये बग्गी ड्रिफ्ट कर रही है अपार्टमेंट्स में चल रहे हैं
Uh, 114, come. You are going to contain.
I got supplies. Enemies ahead.
तीन मैच में लगातार एक गेम मिल रही है
Bye. First teammate. Bye.
एक नंबर गया इधर आएंगे बंदे
Propose.
4 नंबर भी गया
जोन भी बाद में बना.
Not bad.
साला पहले फ्लेयर चला दी फिर जोन बना. बता यार, इससे ज़्यादा बेइज्जती और क्या है.
Let's go! I got supplies.
3x मिलेगा तो मार्क करना. ये स्नाइपर और सप्रेसर.
I got supplies. I got supplies. Watch out! Watch out! I got supplies. I got supplies.
M24 या कार 98 में लगा प्लीज.
Let's go! अंदर आजा बिल्डिंग के. Enemies ahead!
अच्छा बड़ी वाली बिल्डिंग में आ जा।
Marked a location. Marked a location. Someone has been here. Someone has been here.
ला रहा हूँ।
Enemy spotted. For real this time. Don't fire!
यहीं आएंगे वो गाड़ी लेके।
Enemy spotted.
आ गया।
For real this time.
Marked a location.
देख लो।
Form up on me.
भाई किसी को ऐड करोगे विनय?
एक मिनट देखता हूँ कोई होगा तो।
चलो
इसने मास्क
वो कल उनके साथ खेल,
क्या चीज?
कल उनके साथ खेला था ना हम? हाँ नहीं नहीं, तेरे साथ नहीं, वो अलग। ऐड करो, कोई है तो ऐड करो।
कोई नहीं है यार, एक को रिक्वेस्ट भेज रहा हूँ, एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर रहा है अभी, तो चलो।
मेरा टाइम लिमिट है यार, 3 to 5 खेलूंगा बस, रात में नहीं खेलूंगा, एमुलेटर में खेलूंगा मैं। चलो रैंडम जाएंगे।
लग रहा है रैंडम जाना पड़ेगा, कोई आ नहीं रहता।
तेरा डीपी बदल गया?
किसका? मेरा?
टाइम लिमिट मतलब क्या है? चलो जॉर्जपुर या मिल्टा, मिल्टा पहुंच जा सकते हैं हम, या जॉर्जपुर भी जा सकते हैं।
मिल्टा मिल्टा मिल्टा
मिल्टा चलो मिल्टा।
ये मैंशन आने के बाद उतरो भाई, गाड़ी यहाँ पर गाड़ी मिलेगा, वो गाड़ी लेके मिल्टा पहुंच जाएगा। गाड़ी लेके
मिल्टा चलते हैं, मिल्टा पावर जा क्या मिलेगा।
अच्छा वो टाइम लिमिट, वो टाइम लिमिट हाँ होगा। उसके बाद ओके ओके करने से काम करेगा ना ना, वो सेटिंग्स में रहेगा, चलो 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 खुद चलो सब गाड़ी, सब गाड़ी ढूंढो भाई। यहाँ पे प्रिजन के पास मिलेगा, कोई है क्या फॉलोअर्स?
वहाँ पे क्या कहते हैं ये जो है ना तुम्हारा शिवरनी के पास जो ट्रायंगल बनता है बैंड है यहाँ पे।
नीचे गाड़ी, नीचे गाड़ी, नीचे गाड़ी।
ओए चक्कर आ गया, ओए चक्कर आ गया, ओए चक्कर आ गया, चक्कर आ गया,
चक्कर चक्कर
ओए चक्कर आ गया।
हम 3 गाड़ी लेके जा सकते हैं यार। 3 गाड़ी है यहाँ पे, 3
गाड़ी है
गाड़ी
यहाँ पे।
अकेले अलग अलग गाड़ी में जा सकते हैं। भाई दो बंदे फैक्ट्री जाओ, 2 बंदे कवर।
चलो चलो।
यहाँ पे छोड़ो, यहाँ पे छोड़ो, यहाँ पे रोको, यहाँ पे रोको, यहाँ पे रोको।
ओके चलो जा 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 तू उधर जा।
भाई नंबर 4 तुम टावर पास, टावर चलो। लैग हो रही है यहाँ पे। भाई M762 मिल गए तो मार दो, बस वही चाहिए, और कुछ नहीं चाहिए।
ओए ओए फ्लेयर मिल गए, फ्लेयर मिल गए 4x का।
फ्लेयर कर लो, जोन में है ना हम।
जोन में है क्या?
बाहर है।
नहीं नहीं हम तो जोन में है रे बाबा। अगर तुम सबको गन मिल गई है तो फ्लेयर बता दो।
हम चलाओगे? ठीक है, आम तुम ले लो। ग्रोजा है तो ग्रोजा मुझे दे दो।
और सही कट गया अगर इसके ऊपर गिरा तो। नहीं बच गया। आजा भाई आजा। इससे पहले कि मैं सारा लूट। सॉरी भाई, डीबीएस पड़ी है, ले ले।
डीबीएस मुझे नहीं चाहिए। और क्या है इसमें?
डीबीएस और ओम तो ले ली मैंने।
ठीक है, ले लो। मीनवाइल बॉट्स को बुलाते हैं।
जरा एटीएम से पैसे निकाल। लाइन में लगे रहो, एटीएम से पैसे निकालो।
एटीएम से पैसे निकाल।
बहुत लोग वेट कर रहे हैं।
यार एक एआर गन दे दो यार, किसी के पास है तो।
I got supplies. I got supplies.
आ रहा हूँ
मैं आ रहा हूँ।
मार्क करो कहाँ पे? आ रहा हूँ।
थैंक यू। लूटेड। लूटेड। मैंने लूट ली।
एक डीपी दे दूंगा।
डीपी
मुझे M60 दे दो।
यहाँ पे
बस ठीक है, ये बॉट के पास मिलेगा, नो प्रॉब्लम। मैं ले लूंगा। यस, इसके पास है। ये दो कहाँ गया?
गाड़ी निकाल चल उसके नंबर के पास।
अरे यार, एक्सटेंडेड में छोड़ दिया यार मैं। और एक था ना यहाँ पे। बॉट के साथ खेल रही हम। नेट भी करो। नहीं।
पोजिंग की चलते हैं।
नेट पर किसके पास?
पोजिंग की चलते हैं।
कोचिंग की नहीं यार। ब्रिज कैम करेंगे। मिल्टा चलो। जोन इस तरफ है ना वैसे। इनसाइड स्कोप है क्या किसी के पास? बड़ा 4x एटलीस्ट, तो 3x से काम नहीं हो रहे। चलो यहाँ पे लूटेंगे यार।
I got supplies.
30 से 30 पे प्लेयर है, चलते हैं।
भाई एक्सटेंडेड मैक मार्क कर दो।
330 पे प्लेयर है, चलते हैं।
I have supplies. Wait, never mind.
सर यार का सप्रेसर मिला तो प्लीज।
कार में चल रहे। भाई आ जाओ नंबर 3। चलो। रुको। 4 नंबर 4 रुको। आने दो सब साथ में जाएंगे। ड्रॉप हुआ।
हाँ 350 पे।
साउथ वेस्ट में। चलो ड्रॉप के पास चलो भाई। कहाँ लेके जा रहे यार?
अरे यहीं कहीं पे ड्रॉप था।
नंबर 4 कहाँ लेके जा रहे यार?
अरे ड्रॉप था भाई यहीं कहीं पे।
साथ में जाएंगे, चलो साथ में। अगर पूरा स्क्वाड आ गए तो कुछ नहीं कर सकते। एक काम करो भाई, एक जीप में आ जाओ। पिंक ज्यादा है तो भाई तुम भी आ जाओ। ठीक है चलो। ठीक
सामने गिरा।
जोन में चलते हैं।
वो लूट होगा शायद।
देखते हैं चल के।
एक काम कर, गाड़ी चलो।
फ्यूल नहीं है फ्यूल।
रुको, फ्यूल कैन और एक ड्रॉप ब्रिज के पास। गाड़ी जा रही है उधर। और पेट्रोल बंक के पास जा रहे हैं गाड़ी। ब्रिज कैंप कर रहे हो? नहीं उधर गया वो। अरे यार ऐसा क्यों करते यार? पता है गाड़ी क्यों छोड़ते हैं यहाँ पे?
स्मोक करो स्मोक। भाई
मार दिया जालिमों ने।
गंदा
लूट लो सालो, लूट लो, जाओ। चलो भाई लोग, लास्ट गेम।